Hello and welcome. As the economy bites harder on citizens' lives and livelihood, President Bola Tinubu promises to initiate a revolution in the agriculture sector to see Nigeria become a net exporter of agricultural goods. Senator representing Edo North Senatorial District believes the federal government is aware of the challenges facing the country and are working to ensure succor comes as soon as possible. The political crisis in Benue State's politics is apparently far from ending as groups spar over the leadership control. The newly inaugurated acting chairman of the party in the state joins us on the program to defend their side of the story. I'll begin the tracking of the policy for the week with economic issues from the ancient city of Kano in the northwest, where State Public Complaint and Anti-Corruption Agency has sealed some warehouses in the state where food items are being hoarded. The chairman of the commission, Muyi Magaji, said the hoarding of the food items is contributing to the hike in the food prices in the market. Our correspondent, Sadiq Ilyasu, reports.
The prices of food items have continued to go up since the removal of fuel subsidies and the uncertainties in the forex market. However, hoarding of food items, which appears to be a common business strategy in Kano, is believed to be contributing to the upward movement of food prices.
What we want is for us to be able to buy things at an affordable price. We are in serious hardship. Almost every day, the prices of food items are increasing. How do they want us to live with this? We are faced with serious hardship. What we want is for the government to intervene.
I want to know the man. I want to know the man. I want to know the. You know. I don't know whether you know whatever you are doing is being regulated by law. Whatever you are doing is being regulated by law.
After issuing an earlier warning to the residents of Kano against hoarding, the chairman of the Kano State Public Complaint and Anti-Corruption Agency led a raid to some warehouses in Dawano Market.
So as you can see now, we have gone around the warehouses. We meet series of issues, which after we go back to the office, we are going to digest it. But one fundamental thing is, virtually each and every store we entered, they will be claiming that it's a World Food Program stores. We wonder if a World Food Program will starve the country while taking the food somewhere else. You can see where I was told here today, within 1 month, the price of maize has jumped from 30,000 to 60,000. So you see 100% increase. This is totally unacceptable. And you can see these stores. We have uncountable number of other essential commodities, which we are taking over the stores now, and we are going to make some certain arrests because this will not be tolerated. This is not a market. This is a warehouse, and we have them in abundance in this store. As I told you, we have activated our intelligence mechanism, and they have come up with a very strong intelligence on where and how they are holding it.
The warehouses were locked by the agency with the intent to arrest and prosecute the violators of the directives so that the courts will guide the next line of action as it concerns the contents. Sadiq Ilyasu, Channels Television News.
And now to the ambitious vision of President Bola Tinubu to transform the agriculture sector, targeting food sufficiency and turning Nigeria into a next exporter of agricultural goods. The president read out his goal at a meeting with the delegation from the global Tijaniya movement led by Khalifa Mohammed Mahan Nahas at the presidential villa in Abuja. He outlined the strategies such as expanding farmlands, providing low-interest loans to farmers, and investing in irrigation infrastructure to boost productivity.
we will be able to feed ourselves. We are going to cultivate more farmlands. We are going to equip farmers with low interest or no interest loans. We are going to bring tractors into this economy. We are going to invest in irrigations for this country. Nigeria will become net exporters of food. That is the sooner. And that is where I grew up to understand it. The problem of the country on livestock will change. We will change that. Nigeria will live in harmony and become economically viable, buoyant, and happy with production of milk, production of animal husbandry, production of veterinary jobs, and all of that. That is my own concern.
In the meantime, the senator representing Edo North Senatorial District, Senator Adams Oshomole, is saying the government is not aloof of Nigeria's economic challenges and is working on ways of fixing it. Speaking on our program, political program, Sunday Politics, Senator Oshomole, who admits that there should be short-term measures to address the current hardship being experienced by citizens, believes the economic management team of the federal government is made of good hands that can deliver on its mandate.
All the talk you heard about reviewing minimum wage, some debate as to how do we deal with food prices in the short run. Should we resort back to importation? Should we insist that we incentivize our farmers and get them back to the farm and give them all the incentive they need to produce the food that we need? All of that doesn't suggest that the leadership is not at home, is not aware of the challenge that we face. I think the president is very much aware. All of us are very much aware. I am very much aware. This last week on the floor of the Senate, we debated these issues. We debated the issue of security. We debated the issue of high cost of living. And we debated the fact that we are not here to lament it. We are here to take two solutions and fix it. Now, if you ask me how long it's going to take, I will tell you no. It's not I'm not in a position to prescribe time. But that something serious is being done, yes. That the president is determined to fix it, yes. That he has enough good hands around him who share his conviction that the economy will be fixed, yes. But when are you going to say it has been fixed? No, not a correct question. Because at the end of the day, this process, we will keep on managing it. First is to stabilize, because you met a country that's just going down. Your first step is to stabilize it. After you stabilize, you begin to go up. And that journey has to continue prayerfully, that you don't suffer another shock as to dim again. And so nobody who wants to be honest with you will say, well, I think in 3 months it is fixed. But I admit that the human being can't be subjected to hardship in a manner that makes him begin to wonder if there is hope for tomorrow. Yes, we do need to take some measures to cushion while we work on long-term sustainable solutions.
That's the remarks by the senator representing Edo North Senatorial District on what he thinks about the handling of the economy by the management team of the federal government, both the fiscal as well as the monetary authorities. And we're getting set for the MPC meeting for February, and we'll see how these things play out eventually at the end of the day. But Nigerians are looking forward to that particular, to see how things will evolve and get better, because the economy is really biting hard on all persons, despite your economic strata and all of that. So, but we will shift gears now for a moment to the elections that are coming up. in September, the elections in Edo State as well as the election in Ondo State. We know that some primaries will be taking place sometime later in the month by all the political parties who are doing some housekeeping right now to clear aspirants for that particular exercise come this February. But later part of the year, the elections, off-season or off-cycle election, as you want to call it, will be taking place in both Edo and Ondo State. And we're being joined on the program by one of the governorship aspirants of the governorship seats, for the governorship seat in Ondo State, who was a former chairman or president, rather, of the Nigerian Medical Association. He joins us via Zoom, Dr. Francis Fadiyule. Dr. Fadiyule, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure being here.
Well, it's good to see you. I know the last time I saw you was somewhere at the International Airport some time ago when we had a chat over development that has to do with doctors' welfare, as at when doctors were living in droves, and some are still living in droves. And now it's interesting to see you now leave the medical space, so get into the big space of politics. I'm asking, what exactly is the motivation, Doctor?
Well, thank you. It's good for us to be talking at the background, to be seeing things that are not going well. And this is likely from people who are managing the policy. So until you are part of the policy maker, until you are part of those people who will invent and correct things from when it is starting, you will always continue to complain. And that is why we have decided that it is good for us to join in the political landscape so as to start the process, the correction of the process, right from the basis, which is at the level of the policy making, which is at the level of implementation, before it gets to areas that other people are complaining about.
So, Doctor, if I understand very well, you intend to run for the governorship seat in Ondo State on the platform of the All Progressives Congress. Am I correct, sir?
Very correct.
And, sometimes tradition believes that, the governor will naturally be given, he was first a deputy governor, now he became an acting governor twice, and then due to the loss of the former governor, he is now the incumbent governor trying to complete the term. Right of first refusal is always given to the incumbent. How do you want to navigate around all of that to get to see how you can get the ticket?
Well, your statement, right of first refusal, is alien to me. In democracy is always a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. The people will choose whoever they feel will take care of their interests more. Even when we have governors who are going on a second term, we still have contestants or aspirants slugging it out with them. In some cases, they are defeated, but in many cases, they get re-elected. But in this case, the governor of Ondo State at present was the deputy governor of Arakunrin Oluwatimi Akeredolu, who was completing his second term. So the governor at that time was not going to contest. And it has given way for a lot of us who were working with him. I was his special advisor on health, a cabinet member, and he gave us that opportunity to be able to compete. And in this respect, even with the new governor in place, I still believe that the Ondo State people have the choice to choose who should govern them. And that is why some of us still continue in that trajectory because of our inherent belief to make a change and change the state for a better place that everybody will be proud of.
Yes, I was saying that based on the fact that, it's about the political party specifically, not in the expanded election. I'm talking about the primaries when I talked about the right of first refusal. But moving on, I wanted to find out from you, when we see elections like this, governorship elections, it's either you're quite popular as a candidate or you have the backing of an incumbent who may be able to use his influence to push the candidate forward and use this influence to maybe secure victory for that particular candidate, however is done in our democracy. So I don't know, what backing do you have? Do you think you're popular enough, or you worked enough to be popular to get the popular mandate of the people, or you have a backing from somewhere that you think you can walk around to navigate the very murky waters?
Well, certainly, I think I have a backing. And like the wise saying, the biblical injunction that if God does not build the house, the builders labor in vain. I think I have the backing of God in the first instance. Again, within the fabric of the political party, I have been able to show my competence, my capacity to the people of Ondo State, at least in the short time that I was the special advisor on health. Again, I have also showcased myself in other areas as a former president of Nigerian Medical Association, as a former chairman of Nigerian Medical Association, Lagos State. So I have showcased myself, and I think my antecedents will stand for me, apart from the backing of the majority of the populace, the people in Ondo State. Well, if you are talking about the backing of the leadership of the party, yes, many of them is aware of my contest. Many of them supports my contest, and I think it's too early now for me to be exposing those who are my backers. But certainly, I have backers.
So let's begin with what you know so far. Having served as the NMA president at the national level, and then trickling down to Ondo State, where you served as a special advisor to the governor. What needs assessment have you done that makes you feel like, okay, I will be able to help fix this part in the polity of Ondo State, to reposition the fortune of the state so that the people will have a better life and outlook in terms of their security as well as the economy? So if you posit it, say, zone by zone, if you will, or whatever is convenient for you, what have you seen that Ondo needs, that you feel you're the man that should be considered for the top job?
Well, thank you very much. As a State Executive Council, I work closely with the civil service structure and the civil service system. I have realized that the civil service system in Ondo State is still far from being up to date as it should be. We are still working in this analog way of passing file from one table to the other. We are still having a lot of bottlenecks. We are still having a lot of inefficiency in the system. And you know, in this contemporary world, where the world has now become a global village, we want to do things expeditiously. We want to have efficiency. We want to have things done in a way that even those who want to invest will be willing, will be happy that when they come to Ondo State, they can get what they needed at the appropriate time. So we want to first work on the civil service system to ensure that they are technologically up to date so that they can work. And within few days, within few hours, a lot of requests, a lot of activities can be done. We need to stop this paper analog way of passing things. And I think that's the first thing. Once the civil service, which is central to every development in the state, is taken care of, I can tell you that we have a lot to a very big lead in how the state will progress. Again, on the side of the youth, today we have a lot of youth that are not gainfully employed. And if you ask anybody, the first thing they will tell you is that they want the youth to be into agriculture. But I say no. Youths today are having a lot of technology orientation. They are IT savvy. We want to see how we can develop this IT technology and the production of technology in them. And do you know something? Ondo State, in the South Senatorial District, we have silica. Silica then was used to produce glass, the Olua Glass Company, which was the first sheet glass company in the entire West African region. But it has gone moribund. Today, silica are the backbone of all the hardware of our phones.
Sorry for cutting. Maybe you land on your thought before I ask my final question.
Okay. They are the backbone of all our phones, all our laptops, all our electronics. And we have the best quality of silica in Ondo State. We want to exploit this. We want to bring people to produce all this hardware and get the youth to now invest into getting this silica, being backbone of this electronics.
All right, Doctor. So, my apologies, not intended to cut you, but because of time, I just needed to jump in there because Ondo State is also highly dependent on the federal allocation. So I always like to ask that question. When a state like Ondo is almost 60% dependent on the federal allocation, and some of these plans you're talking about will take funding. How do you intend to fund it? Because we've had big plans like this. The question we always ask is, how do you want to achieve it in terms of funding? In 30 seconds.
Well, I wish to say it's not true that Ondo State depends on federal allocation.
Oh dear. Dr. Fadiyule, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You just have 20 seconds to land. Just my simple question is straight.
Well,
how do you want to reduce dependency on FAC and increase your IGR?
The IGR of Ondo State has increased astronomically when we have introduced technology. We are going to partner with those who are into electronics, who need all the background for their hardware. And we are going to bring them in. We are going to have a lot of investors in, and we are not going to depend on government funding for our activities.
All right, Dr. Francis Fadiyule, former NMA president and now a governorship aspirant on the platform of the All Progressives Congress in Ondo State. Doctor, there's a lot of questions to ask because we've been following Ondo politics since the time of Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Akeredolu and now with the incumbent governor. So maybe when we come back again to expand the conversation, those questions will be asked. But we must thank you for coming to the program. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
All right, we'll go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll go to the last leg of the program. Join us again. Welcome back. We talked about the political imbroglio in Benue State. It's one episode to the other since they won the election. I'm being joined for a very short conversation, perhaps one of the shortest I've had on the program, by Benjamin Omakalo, the acting chairman of the party in the state, loyal to the governor. Mr. Omakalo, we'll be waiting for you. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Let's get straight to just some quick questions that I will expect. Please just answer as quickly as possible because of time. We understand that you ban all political activities except an express approval from you. Does that suggest that your ESCO, you are still quite divided even after you were inaugurated as the acting chairman?
Thank you very much. Even before I came aboard as the caretaker chairman of the APC in Benue State, when the suspended chairman, person of Comrade Austin Agada, was piloting the affairs of the party, no missing posts without clearance from him. So when I came up as acting chairman, I deemed it fit to maintain the tradition so that there will be decorum in the party. And it was on that note that I decided that all meetings must hold by a way of clearance issued from my office.
So they are divided over the issue of even the validity of your person as the chairman of the party, which I wish I had more time, but I don't have so much time. So straight question, which is the fact that they say you were suspended as a welfare secretary of the party, and now even the way you were inaugurated as chairman by the governor contravenes Section 31, subsection 5 of your own constitution. How do you respond to that as a party?
Well, I was not suspended. There was a purported notification that I was suspended. By my word, And the world came up to tell the world that they never had any meeting, they never suspended me, they never wrote any suspension letter to the local government to go and forth to the state. And the local government also denied the fact that they had knowledge of anything that has to do with my suspension, that it was a masterminded act by persons unknown to them, and they denied it.
All right.
So I remain the...
Oh, my apologies. We're totally out of time. I did talk about this before I started. We're totally out of time. But we need to invite you again when technology allows us to talk to you. We needed to take you because we have talked about it at the beginning of the show. Benjamin Omakalo, the new acting chairman of the APC in Benue, say thank you for coming on the program. And that's it on the program. Thanks for your time and company. I'm Jeffrey Uzanga. You've just been served on Lunchtime Politics.